Hey guys, this is Nathan with Excel Helps You, and this week we're doing a product release. So, this is a weekly time card that calculates overtime. So I have a weekly version and a bi-weekly version, and I want to show it to you. So first of all, it comes with a blank time card, which can be printed out and then filled out by your employees so that you can then have data to input into your weekly time card. So let's go ahead and take a look at a sample. So here we've got a week's worth of data inputted, and you'll see here that it calculates to a 40-hour work week. And so we have regular time of 40 hours. I'm going to go ahead and just protect this real quick. Alright. So the only cells you'll be able to edit will be the ones you can select. So you can change the name of any of these up here. These three columns here are just for your own understanding of what the time represents. And so for my company, we have job numbers, job names, and descriptions. It is important that you use the proper date because it is calculating and giving you a quick shortcut here telling you which day of the week it is, which is important when you go to enter into QuickBooks because it is laid out with the days of the week and which day of the month. So that'll make your life a lot easier having this right here. And so this becomes really important in getting proper overtime calculated when you have multiple days on the, or multiple projects in the same day. So you see here, John spent most of his morning at Smith's job, and then spent the middle part of his day picking up materials for Anderson, and then he went ahead and got started on his next project, Peterson, at the end of the day. So we've got all of this time here, these 6 times, to add up to his Monday, which you can see down here. He had a total of 9 hours and 47 minutes with 7 hours and 59 minutes of regular time and 1 hour and 48 minutes of overtime. Now you may be thinking, why isn't that just 8 hours? Because if we do 8 times 5, that'll be 40 hours, everything else is overtime. Well, what if there's a day that you don't get to 8 hours? So let's take a look here. Actually, more importantly, this is prorated properly. And so you see here, Saturday was a really long day for him. And so there's a lot more regular time as well. But this does work as well if you have a day that is less than 8. Everything is prorated to the amount of the week that each day, each line was. And if you have a personal day, you can note that on here without it hindering your calculations. Just don't enter anything in the time in and time out. Throughout the document, you'll see these little instructional boxes. If you don't like where they are, you can simply drag them to where they aren't covering any data. So, lunches are deducted from your total hours. And so if I were to add a half an hour lunch here, which would be weird in the middle of the day, but this adjusted, which changed this, and then because it changed the total minutes for the week by 30 minutes, every single one of these numbers on overtime adjusted. So now he's got 9 hours and 17 minutes, and all of this changed down here. Okay, so you'll see how a simple change like that changes a lot of stuff. So before you go to enter this into QuickBooks, you need to make sure, you really need to make sure that you have your time inputted correctly, so you're not having to go and correct all of these numbers in QuickBooks. Alright, so you can put how much you're paying your employee here, and then it will calculate the overtime, and then calculate your gross pay as well. This is a great double check to make sure that you have everything entered properly into QuickBooks, because if you have 40 hours regular pay, and 9 hours and 13 minutes of overtime. At this rate, you will get to this gross amount. Okay, so this is the biweekly, and you'll see here you can have links to the blog and links back to this video here. Okay. Again, we have the blank time card for the biweekly, but now we have 2 weeks that you can enter your. So this would be the first week of the pay period. This would be your second week of the pay period, and then you have a payroll report. And again, just drag this out of the way. Here's where you would enter your hourly rate. Let's go ahead and take a look at a sample one with time already in it. So week 1 here, we had 46 hours and 1 minute. So you have 40 hours regular, 6:01 in overtime. And you see we've got 2 days on, or 2 jobs on Tuesday. The rest of them only have 1, so you've only got 6 lines. And here we had a day that was less than 8 hours, but it still has overtime because it still happened during the week. Alright, week 2. This is the same week as we saw earlier. And now you don't have your stuff over here because it does, all of this information rolls over onto the payroll report. So week 1 and week 2 both had overtime, so their regular hours are 40, which gives us a total regular hours for the pay period of 80. And then you got your overtime hours, and then you have your total hours for each week, which adds to these totals, which can be compared to your paycheck before you print them, because QuickBooks gives you these totals before you print, as well as your gross pay. So if you can put your the day you actually write your checks here. If you want to, you can add the name of your employee up here. Currently, this is set up for 1 employee. I took this and added 5 workman comps classifications to it, and then made tons of copies of it, so it'll handle up to 7 employees. So my payroll report has a list of employees down this way, with their totals going out this way. If you're interested in something like that for your business, please message me for a quote, and I can give me your details, and I'll see if that's something that we can come to an agreement on. I can build that for you. I'd love to do that. Alright, is there anything else? I think that about does it. Next week we are going to be taking a look at tools and the styles group. So that's tables and cell styles, and let me show you. It's this section right here. So conditional formatting is super powerful. It's going to be a fun tutorial next week. Alright, this is available. I'm just going to go over here and I'll throw up an annotation over here at ebay.com because Etsy, for whatever reason, is not allowing me to upload Excel documents right now. So click through, and if this was something you're interested in, then go check out the listing and see if you want to buy it. Alright guys, I will see you next week.